want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who is connecting with me via this medium. Quickly, I want us to look into this subject matter, the power of influence. The power of influence. I want to believe that you are up and about to task for the day and trusting that everything will go well. But going well is a function of how we go about our day. Now, the power of influence is a very needed tool wherever we find ourselves, from the family to the team we are in leadership, whatever business you could find yourself, the power of influence. Now, it would be nice for us to understand what influence is. Influence is the power to affect or inspire people in a particular way or act you want them to go. Now, the way I've just explained it, that kind of influence must be positive. Yes, that kind of influence must be positive. The moment we don't consider the power of influence, we end up manipulating people. The moment we do not understand the power of influence, we end up manipulating people. And this is what differentiates the leader from a boss. The leader from a boss. You will agree with me that some persons come into places of authority and all of a sudden they're there to make all of the decisions and all of that, calling people or controlling people into what they believe should be the lifestyle. But leadership is actually making people see reason why this is more preferable. So as you go about your activities today, it is in my interest to call us to this that the power of influence is a better option for us. If you want men to follow your path, follow your idea, now you need to have a better way of influencing them. So if I may ask, are you a person of influence or are you a manipulator? Are you a person of influence? Are you a manipulator? Now, for you to influence, it will be necessary for you also to be influenced. If you want to influence people, it will be needful for you to be influenced. Yes. Now, I'm talking about positive influence now, because influence has a positive side and a negative side. Now, the motive behind the influence can also affect why it should be positive or negative, or why it is becoming negative. So, if you want a positive influence, now you have to be positively influenced. And if you are tending towards negative, obviously you have been negatively influenced. But I'm talking about what influence in the positive manner today. You can influence positively as a team player. You can influence positively as a husband. You can influence positively even as an authority in the place you work. Now, the power of influence makes people freely join you without coercion. They see reasons from your standpoint, and they do all they could to be part of your move, so long they see it as right. Now you ask yourself, how do I influence? How do I influence? Now it is good for you to know that before you influence others, you need to understand and appreciate their present status. You need to understand and appreciate their present status. Denial of their status or not paying attention to who they are becomes a hindrance to if you can influence them. You want to talk to a child or want to make a child to read, just like in the schools, the teacher will make it a rhyme or perhaps show pictures, what we call teaching aid, and it becomes easier for the child to grasp what the teacher is trying to say. So if you want to influence people, it will be needful for you to check what their present status are and perhaps how you can influence. I hope you're getting it right. Now, another way is what to get a leverage, upon which you ride. Get what? A leverage. A leverage could be a language. A leverage could be a support of an existing idea, and by so doing, you can now reintroduce or perhaps introduce what you think as a support mechanism to an existing idea. Now imagine if people see you from the perspective of a critic, a pessimist, All the time you don't want to see things working like this, like that. Now the moment you come up with your own idea, be sure that they will try to bring it down. So please find something that is positive with the people to leverage upon. Another way to also influence the people is to skillfully interrupt the pattern. Skillfully interrupt the pattern. It's like could be likened to what I just said earlier. Skillfully do that. There are things you do not like perhaps in a work environment. Now you have to be skillful about the interrupt of the existing pattern. Now one of the ways to do that is what? To identify the problem. To identify the problem. Now, if you identify a problem and possibly provide solution, then you are making a headway. So in your office, what's the problem? At home, what's the problem? If you fail to identify the problem and try to skillfully provide solution, you can find it difficult influencing the people. Because the moment we know that you are solving a problem, you are hitting the goal of the team, wherever you find yourself at work, in church, just wherever people are, what happens? They will quickly want to sit to what you are saying so long it is solving a problem. Now the next thing you do is to empower the alternative that you are providing. Empower the alternative that you are providing. Now one of the ways to do that also is to lead by example. You can't be standing to tell us about a thing that should be done and you are far away from doing it. One of the ways to do or empower your alternative is to show it by example. Show it by example. So my position this morning or in this kind of teaching is to say, for the things you want to see happen, be the one to set the pace. Be the one, don't just tell it, be the one to set the pace. And as I begin to round up, because I want to make it a short teaching this morning, please also reinforce the environment. Get people on the side. If you want this to work, now make them see by the positive inclusion you are bringing on the table, especially as it affects the overall good of all. If all you are trying to say is about yourself, trying to make a point that does not affect other persons, you are likely to lose the people on your side. Let me say this as I round up now. Influence make you a desirable leader and not a manipulator. So wherever you find yourself this morning, in the bus, wherever you're going this morning, in the course of your schedule, ask yourself, am I a person of influence or am I a manipulator? If you're a manipulator, I welcome you to the path of influence by knowing what to do. So that everywhere you're found, you are desirable, you are likable, you are a person that people want to relate with. And I trust that today will be fine. I look forward to seeing you some other time. Do have a pleasant week. God bless you.